The case began with Kathleen Seeney versus Dylan Demmer. The landlord stated that the tenant owed 2 months of unpaid rent. Each month's rent was $1,595. The judge asked for the total amount owed and calculated it out loud. 2 months came to $3,190. The judge then asked whether there were any additional charges. The landlord confirmed there were no late fees included yet. The court carefully reviewed the numbers to make sure everything was correct. The discussion focused mainly on unpaid rent at this stage. The judge ensured the math was accurate before moving forward.
Kathleen Sineski versus Dylan Demmer.
It was 2 months rent, so we owed, let's see, $1,595 times 2 was what? 342
$1,595.
times
Do you
2.
want me to do your math for you? 3190. Okay.
Okay.
And then you have a fine. What are your costs? Are there any late fees included in this?
No,
Do you charge late fees?
I do.
How much?
I have $100 in the contract.
I give $75. Is he late by 2 months?
Yes, sir.
So that's 150 in late fees. So now your total's 3340, and you have filing service fees. You have $110 in a filing fee, right?
Yes.
And you have how much in service fees?
About $35,000.
All right, let me see here. 3190, 50 late. And you have court costs of 35 plus 110 for 145, 30. So that should be 3290, 3340, 34.
The judge asked whether late fees were part of the agreement. The landlord explained that the contract allowed $100 in late fees, but she usually charged $75. Since the tenant was 2 months late, late fees were added. This brought the total higher. The judge recalculated the full amount, including rent and late fees. Filing fees were also discussed. The landlord confirmed a $110 filing fee. Additional court costs were reviewed as well. The total amount claimed reached approximately $3,485. The judge then turned to the tenant and asked if he could pay the amount.
85. Can you pay that, Mr. Demmer?
No, sir. There's more to the story than just that. Do I have the floor to maybe speak a couple situations?
Yeah, I don't know why you're walking around though. Why are you walking around?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm getting a good connection. Just stay right where you're at.
Okay.
What's the issue?
So while I was living there,
Are you living there now?
no, sir. I've been out of there since the end of January 31st.
Did you turn over the keys?
Yes, sir.
Did he turn over the keys?
In the house, left the house unlocked, turned off the power. It's kind of nightmare. Plus, he's still into a 6-month, he's into a year's lease, Your Honor. He just left the keys and left, broke the lease and left, so. I have all that damage someplace down the road too.
I had an eviction notice, sir.
Well, you didn't vacate the property if you didn't turn over the keys and remove all your property. All right?
No, sir, I had an eviction notice. I got it probably January 27th, I think it was. So I had.
Mr. Demmer responded that he could not pay. He said there was more to the story. He asked the judge for permission to explain his situation. The judge allowed him to speak but instructed him to stop walking around during the hearing. The tenant apologized and said he was trying to maintain a good connection. The judge asked him directly what the issue was. The discussion shifted from numbers to the tenant's explanation. The tenant began describing events while he lived at the property. The focus was now on possession of the home.
I had 4 days from when I got that letter to move out. I moved out by the 31st. I left the keys, sent her a message, let her know I was out. Keys are on the counter. I'm not sure what else I was supposed to do after that point.
We were supposed to turn the keys over to her and remove all of your property. What's the issue? What's the issue? Mr. Demmer, I need you to look at me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I need you to stop walking around.
Okay.
Okay? All right, now tell me what the issues are.
So the one issue that me and her never came finding a solution on was she has a shed in the backyard that was damaged from the roof, and she had dropped off shingles uh for me to repair the roof. So I took it upon myself uh to go to Home Depot. I bought all the materials, including wood, to replace all the wood for the shed. I did all the labor, and I ended up redoing the shed roof. And I've yet to still have any credit towards.
Did you agree to pay him to do that?
No.
Did you drop off shingles?
He said he was a roofer. He didn't pay any security deposit. I tried to work with him, so unfortunately that we got into the shed. He said he was a roofer. He could do that. He was gonna show me he was gonna be a better tenant. He was gonna fix some screens, which I probably shouldn't have entered into that at all, but yeah, he did do that. But somewhere down the road, I'll be back again for another lawsuit for he owes a final water still yet, and things that I haven't even encountered yet since he's been out. So I will probably give him some kind of credit down the road for that.
Well, here's what I think is appropriate. I'll give you a possession judgment for the
I think it's breaking out. I can't hear nothing.
well, I'm thinking.
I couldn't hear that last part, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. Let me just think it through for 1 second.
I think the audio was going in and out for a second.
No, I get it.
The judge asked whether the tenant still lived in the house. Mr. Demmer stated he had moved out on January 31st. The judge asked whether he had returned the keys. The tenant said he left the keys inside the home. The landlord argued that simply leaving the keys inside was not proper return. She also stated he was still under a 1-year lease. According to her, he broke the lease by leaving early. She mentioned possible damages as well. The tenant insisted he moved out within 4 days of receiving an eviction notice. He believed he followed the instructions properly.
Let me
Oh,
just,
okay,
I just
I hear
want
you
to
now.
think, I just want to think things through for a second, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So what other damage items do you want? Are you claiming? You don't know what the water is or anything?
I don't have a final water bill yet. Final water bill, he left a trampoline on the property, which I have to have hauled away. He left some garbage out at the curb, which was all smashed up. I had to pay somebody. I haven't even done the final damage. I haven't even re-rented the house yet, so I still have all that damage. He just walked out on the year's lease.
Oh, geez, you made a big mistake. You got a year's written lease with him?
Yes,
You made a big mistake, Mr. Demmer.
I explained that to him.
You're going to be on the hook for a lot of money here until she can re-rent the property.
Well, if I can continue, if I could explain myself a little further.
Go ahead.
So the house, when I first got the house, I was in a very tight pickle, seeking somewhere to live closer to my son's school. That place was right down the street. I got hooked onto the thought of it, and me and her kind of rushed ourselves into this situation. The house wasn't ready for me to live in by any means. It smelled like absolute urine from top to bottom. And yet I made continuous statements about that, and nothing was done about it. But when I got the keys, it took me about 2 weeks to air out the house and finally move my stuff in.
When did you move in?
It was got the keys, I think it was end of July or so it was
Wait a
about
minute. So you lived in there for 6, 7 months, right?
Yes.
You walked through the property before you agreed to rent it, right?
correct.
Did you smell the urine then?
Yes, sir.
Well, you still chose to rent it then, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the issue then? I don't understand.
The judge questioned whether the tenant had fully removed his belongings. The tenant said he left the keys on the counter and notified the landlord by message. He felt he had done what was required. The judge stressed that keys should be formally turned over. The landlord maintained that he broke the lease agreement. The conversation became focused on responsibility. The tenant then introduced a new issue. He claimed he repaired a damaged shed roof in the backyard. He believed he deserved credit for that work. The judge asked whether there had been any agreement about payment.
So when we first signed the
Wait a minute.
contract,
I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to proceed with this. You've created a mess. You don't get to just leave the property.
I tried to make several statements to her in regards to having troubles with the house and affording it. I told her the house, there was a point in time in the beginning of January, end of December, the house was full of mice poop. I had to throw out several belongings. Every room, every closet was full of mouse poop. I had to throw out shoes, clothing.
When was
Uh,
this?
it was beginning of July, end of December.
You went through the property. You didn't see any of that before you agreed to rent it?
This is while I was living there, sir.
He moved in, he signed the lease June 23rd.
Which I didn't get a copy of for about 40 days later.
And you
And
sound like a whiner now. I don't want to talk about not getting the lease copy, okay? Please.
I mean, I got a copy that was not what I signed. After I
Not what you
signed,
signed.
after I signed it, I didn't get a copy till about a month later, and there was new handwritten comments on that copy, which I never signed off on. She handwrit. She took our signed copy. We went on our with life for about a month. She seen how it goes. She wrote in some statements about regarding appliances, and then I got my copy. I have text from her stating how much the recent water bill was, which I paid, and now in the court paper, it's $20 difference of what she's telling me in the text. Nothing she said since day one has lined up with what she's been telling me. She's not a good landlord. So therefore, I tried texting her about not being able to afford it, this and that, and she was she acted like she was in okay with the situation. This was in the beginning of January, and I have several.
Mr. Demmer explained that the landlord dropped off shingles for the shed. He said he bought additional materials from Home Depot and replaced wood on the roof. He claimed he performed the labor himself. He believed this work should count toward rent owed. The landlord denied agreeing to pay him for the repair. She admitted he did some work, but said there was no formal agreement for credit. She explained he never paid a security deposit. She also suggested more damages might be discovered later. The judge listened carefully before deciding the next step.
Text from her asking me, "What's your situation? Hey, Dylan, just wondering what the situation is in regards to moving, blah, blah, blah." Nothing in there in the first 3 weeks of January. We had several conversations. Not one of them did she tell me I'm filing an eviction notice. I'm filing an eviction notice. She had that ready.
All
Now,
right.
and
Okay,
now,
Mr. Demmer.
Your Honor, he kept mentioning he was moving out, he was having a hard time. I told him he had to put something in writing so I knew what was going on. He stated,
I'm going to set this for trial on the issue of money damages. Does he have any property here? In the property now? You said
he's got a trampoline
Right.
outside.
You want the trampoline?
no, sir. I'm not concerned about the trampoline. No, sir.
Does he have anything else in the property now?
No,
All right, so. And you agree to relinquish the property. You have no claim in the property right now, correct?
The judge asked about additional damages and unpaid bills. The landlord mentioned a final water bill was still pending. She also stated the tenant left behind a trampoline and trash at the curb. She said she had not yet fully inspected the property. The judge warned the tenant that leaving during a one-year lease could lead to significant financial responsibility. The tenant attempted to explain his side. He described unpleasant living conditions. He said the home smelled strongly of urine when he moved in. Despite noticing this during the walkthrough, he still chose to rent it. The judge questioned why he agreed to move in if he knew about the smell.
Is that true?
Yeah, you're speaking to me, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to set it for trial on.
Yeah, I have. If you're asking me if I have anything to do with, I have no ties to the house as of right now besides this.
You went in and got the keys?
Finally did, yeah, then he told me to turn the power off, so I have it where DTE switches my name, but he wouldn't turn the furnace off, so I went in there, it was like 49 degrees.
Why would you do such a thing? Did you do that?
So like I said
I'm
before,
asking you a question. Did you do that?
yes, sir. I'm not sure what else I was supposed to do. I don't
Oh,
like
just turn the heat down and let the pipes freeze? Is that what you thought was funny, or?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm not trying to. I'm not here to bash anyone, hurt anyone any further. I'm not here for any of that. And I had no intentions of that. I asked my mother what she thought I should do. I don't have much support. I didn't know what to do. I've never dealt with a situation like this. And my understanding in my mind right now, I don't think that Miss Kathy likes me or has liked me, or I just don't, I haven't approved of her attitude toward, I just,
Okay.
I didn't want much I didn't want much as I wanted at least as the least conversation between me and her until we had this figured out. I
I'm
didn't
going to set the.
I didn't do that to
Hang on.
hurt anyone.
The tenant continued explaining that the house was not ready for occupancy. He claimed he had to air it out for 2 weeks. Later, he said the house became infested with mice. He reported finding mouse droppings in closets and rooms. He stated he threw away clothing and shoes. The landlord responded that he had signed the lease in June. She also said he lived there for several months. The judge pointed out that he could not simply leave the lease early. The tenant also complained about receiving a modified copy of the lease. He alleged handwritten changes were added later without his approval.
What do you want to do? You want me to set this for trial on the issue of damages, or do you want to refile when you get everything together?
You can set it for a trial, I guess, because he's already here, otherwise they gotta sue him again.
Yeah, we'll set it for trial on the issue of money damages. Let's set it a month out. And prepare a dismissal order of the landlord-tenant case. And if you would, Jennifer or Linda, and just say, parties agree that defendant has now vacated and relinquished possession of the property to plaintiff. That's on the terminate or the non-payment of rent. So we can just do a dismissal order on that. And you agree that you've relinquished the property, correct, Mr. Demmer?
Yes.
And you do as well, that he has, correct?
Yes.
So prepare a dismissal order on the possession claim and indicate that on the dismissal order. And then we're setting this for trial on the issue of money damages. We're going to set it out for a month or so.
Would April 6th at 9:30 be okay?
Is that good with everybody?
Yes.
The tenant questioned the landlord's honesty regarding bills and communication. He said water bill amounts differed between texts and court filings. He believed she was not transparent. The landlord stated he mentioned moving out several times. She said she asked him to put things in writing. The judge then confirmed the tenant had no remaining claim to the property. Both parties agreed he had vacated and relinquished possession. Another issue arose about the furnace being turned off. The landlord claimed the house temperature dropped dangerously low. The tenant admitted he turned off the heat but said he did not intend harm. He explained he felt overwhelmed and unsure of what to do.
Is that good with you?
Sounds great.
April 6th at 9:30 will be your date. Do you have a place where we can send you mail and notices, sir?
Yes, sir.
Give me the address.
1722 Riverbank. That's one word. In Lincoln Park, Michigan.
Remind me, what's the zip there again?
48146.
All right, so write that down though. April 6th, you're going to be here at 9:30, okay?
No, will that be Zoom too, or?
No, you got to show up in person for a trial.
Okay. And if I just may ask one quick question, sir.
Sure.
Now, you've mentioned that I would be responsible to the end of the lease.
I'm not going to I can't give you advice. I'll look at
No, it's just a question in regards to if I'm evicted, how would that?
I'm going to listen. We're going to have the trial on April 6th. Go talk to a lawyer. Okay?
Can I get assistance with that?
I can't appoint lawyers. You can go talk to somebody at Lakeshore. They'll chat with you and tell you the phone number, and you can call them.
Judge,
But
if
they're
I
not-
may. Yeah, Mr. Demmer, I can take you into a breakout room and I can give you the phone number for Lakeshore Legal Aid.
Okay,
thank you so
But they're
much.
not
Thank
going to
you.
come to court and represent you. Is the point?
No, I just got a few questions about this. I've never
Talk
dealt
to
with
them.
it.
Talk
Okay.
to them. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thanks.
You too.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.
You're all set.
The judge decided to dismiss the possession claim since the tenant had already moved out. However, the issue of money damages would proceed to trial. A court date was scheduled for April 6th at 9:30 a.m. The hearing would be in person. The tenant provided his mailing address in Lincoln Park, Michigan. He asked questions about legal responsibility through the end of the lease. The judge refused to give legal advice and suggested he speak to an attorney. The court staff offered contact information for Lakeshore Legal Aid. The judge reminded both parties to prepare for trial. The session ended with instructions and confirmation of the next court date.